Hello and welcome back to the shop, shed today. It's time to do a bit more work on my solar project. So today I got a bit of new stuff to work with for my solar project. And right now that is a couple of new batteries. So the first thing I want to do is to test and see if they're actually holding a charge. So that's one thing that the solar controller will do for me, is it will actually register how many volts are in the battery. So the original battery that I hooked up has been hooked up here for ages now, is being kept topped up at a solid 13.7. I don't expect the new batteries to be that good, but they should have some charge to them at least. So here's the two new batteries that I bought. Well, they're new to me. And this is the third battery, the one that I had given to me from a coworker. So thank you, Rudy, for the battery that got me started on some parts of this. And these two I got at a local car parts resale store kind of place. So these cost me $40 each. So I just hooked it up to the solar power panel, and it immediately went to 13.8. So battery's holding a good charge there on that one. Alright, so I'm about to hook up the last battery. Nothing. Am I hooking up wrong? No, so I'm not hooking up wrong. Poles on that one was different. That one's backwards. So this one's also reading 13.8. So that's pretty damn good. Okay, so we've at least confirmed that the batteries, according to the solar panel, are holding a charge. Alright, so that's good. Now the next thing could get a bit more difficult, because I got my camera clamp clamped onto the side of the chicken coop, and where I'd like to stick the batteries is above you, behind you, and to say it's a right royal mess is an understatement. But I don't want to take up all the countertop space I have over here, both because I have plans to change this space and because the batteries would just be sitting there in the way. I think I might have to straighten out some of the royal mess up on top of the chicken coop. And I'm not sure that I really want to do that, at least not today. So this is the right royal mess that I'm talking about. Mostly this stuff over here. This stuff, I don't want to trust this shelf to put batteries on. That's not really intended to carry much in the way of weight. But this up here is a solid pallet with OSB across the top of it. It's just the fact that I got a bunch of junk up here and some wood, and I'm not sure that I want to move a lot of this stuff. There's 2 packs of shingles from back when I thought that I was going to be shingling the roof to this shed. Okay, so after a bit of... No, don't look over there. Don't look over there. After a little bit of mucking around, this is what we got. I got my 3 batteries up here. Power inverter is on. Not sure why I have that camera light on, but it helps a bit. Okay. Power inverter showing 13.8. But we're only hooked up to this battery. Now, part of the problem for some of it is these alligator clamps. They don't work so good on this battery. I really need the ring clamps, much more like this on the side here. And I should have bought a set. I thought I did, but I think I got more clamps. Yeah, I bought more clamps because the other two batteries do better with that. But this is also a problem, and that is going from the solar panel up to the battery, and then the inverter has a much shorter cable going to the same battery so that both items can interact with the battery. So that's that much done. But the next thing needs to happen is up here, and I need to use some of these guys and some wire that I got under there to hook up these batteries in series so that all three batteries are up at the same time. So there should be somewhere around 45 volts maybe between the three of them. Power inverter fluctuates fairly often. I'm not sure how well that's coming through. So I need to figure out how I'm doing the wiring for the inverter, and if I'm going to change this out, because I think I could use a shorter cable to go from the control panel there to the battery, and I'd be better off taking this longer cable and hooking it up to the power inverter and maybe going that way. I have a few little things to figure out. Give me a second. I'm not an electrician. Don't take anything you see me do here as good advice. This is all advice of what an idiot would do. So I'm starting to hook up my clamps. So I need to hook it up in such a way that these are connected. I know it's hard to see, but red to red, black to black, but I need to hook them up. This one needs doubled. Needs 2 wires in, 2 wires out, so that the next set of cables are all already hooked up to this. Now I've screwed up a couple of times already. These little connectors have spots here that are meant to be bent over. I screwed up and forgot to put this back on, which would protect my hands from the next time I got to touch this. Then I screwed up forgetting that I needed 2 sets of wires onto this. So now all I need to do is put the set of wires that I got braided together on there and clamp them together. Now it is only soft copper. I know I'm not presenting this very well because it's hard to see. Let's see if I can do this a bit better. But it doesn't need a hell of a lot of pressure. And these diagonal cutters actually have a better spot here on the back side to be able to grip and squeeze this kind of thing. I screwed up again. This was supposed to be on there. I'm reluctant to take it back off because I don't want to damage that piece of copper any more than what I've done. I can't believe I just did that. I just did that with the black one, and I cut the piece of plastic and taped it on. And I guess that's what I'm doing for this one, because I don't want to damage that copper any more than that. This is why you don't take my advice for things. Look, laugh, listen. Maybe there's something there to learn what not to do. I don't have the proper electrical tape here in front of me, so I'm using the tape I have in front of me until I get proper electrical tape. That's enough to hook up 2 sets of batteries, but I need one more. And then I need enough to go to the solar panel. I don't want to wiggle the wires out. See, it should go down over both sets of wires. And then it lays into the groove there, and we'll squat them over. This is a very awkward little thing to have to do. Sorry, it's a bit small to have to deal with. Now, got it in there pretty good. I'm giving it a really good squeeze. Make sure that it's firmly connected. Then the plastic goes back over. That's the way it should mostly look. Wires are a bit too exposed there on the end. I don't like that. But when I bring down the electrical tape, I'll tape over the ends so that they're better than that. Same thing with the black. Nope, remember to put the plastic bit in. It's a very small connection. Again, very firm pressing there, so that's very nicely tight. See, that one is not as exposed. Now we have all 3 of our connectors. I have to remember that one of the batteries, I think I set it up properly, that it's backwards to the rest. Now the only thing left to do is this end of wire needs to be prepared to go into the solar panel, control panel, we'll call it that. Now the problem battery is in the middle. So let's see if I can hook that one up properly first. Let's look. Damn it. Keep the positive and the negative separate. Don't let them touch. Or that happens. Alright. That shows me that we got one battery hooked up correctly. Let's do this one at a time. Alright, we got 2 batteries hooked up properly. Alright, nothing is exploding, but we're not showing higher than 13 volts. Fuck. .9, 13 volts. Alright, is this thing not capable of reading higher than this or what? So this one's reading 13.1. That one's reading 13.2. Do I need to really hook up the power inverter to each one that way too? Or is it something else? Are we only reading one of the batteries? What the hell is going on? This one should be reading the other batteries at the least. There's no change when I hook up the other batteries to it. But the power inverter is good for 400 watts. Okay, so as expected, I nearly electrocuted myself again because I'm an idiot playing with electricity. Don't take me as an example. Yeah, I put a positive to a negative because one of the batteries at least are reverse pole, and the way the battery was sitting, yeah. Dummy. Now, I still got some stuff I'm trying to figure out here, like if I got the thing set up properly at all, because that's in question, because I'm working on it, so of course it's in question. I don't know if the control panel for the solar panel and the inverter are really only just reading the one battery. I'm not sure if I got to hook up the inverter to each battery. Do I have to hook up that in series as well as the batteries? It seems like a lot. Seems like it should work off of the one, but that's the most sensible explanation I got at the moment, that the inverter is only reading the one battery because that's what the inverter is hooked up to, despite the fact that the batteries are all hooked up in the series and it's hooked on to the one battery that it's terminating in, that they're all coming to that. So I was thinking that it should register them all that way. But on a different note, the battery hasn't drained yet. Usually it doesn't take very much, because usually it's only really only a matter of hooking up the inverter and it starts draining the batteries. No, it's this one that I need. Not power bar. Yeah, work. So I plugged in the lights for the shed, and the battery power on the inverter is dropped to 12.8 right off the bat. 12.7 is running the lights. So is it just draining off of the battery? I'm gonna go to the next one. Shouldn't I have had at least 30 volts coming off of 3 batteries? I'm an idiot. I don't know things about electricity. I'm mucking around with it anyway. And I'm lucky that I haven't been electrocuted yet. Today. Knock on wood. Battery's holding steady at 12.6 according to the power inverter. 12.5. With the amount of sun we have going, it should be enough sunlight going to keep the thing powered. There's too much I don't know. That's where I'm going to end this video for today. I'm going to go do some research and try to figure out if there's things I'm doing, no, not if, what things I'm doing wrong and what assumptions I'm making that I shouldn't. I'll see you in the next video. Hope you found it entertaining. I don't know if I caught the flash of almost slagging the battery on camera. Hope you found that entertaining. I didn't get hurt. I didn't actually get touched by the electricity. It's just a bit eye-catching to have flares suddenly coming out of the battery. Not a good thing. Battery's down to 12.4, but it's holding steady. See how she goes, and I'll see you in my next video. Hope you're having a great day, and I hope you come back to see me again next time. Bye bye now.